Hello and welcome to another short tutorial from Crawley College on working with text in Microsoft Word. As you can see on the screen, exactly what I said is now sitting there on the page in my document, but when I've typed it, as you can also see, I've managed to make a mistake towards the right hand end. I've not put capital letters on Microsoft and Word. They are a title, so they should have them. Now I could go into the text by just clicking inside it and editing out the mistake. Do that with Microsoft, do a similar thing with Word. It is a title, as I said, so it should have a capital letter, but I might have done that lots of times on the page, and that's going to be hard work swapping things around. Or I might have managed to type the whole thing in capital letters, and I've got to spend a lot of time sorting that out. But I don't. If I go to another document where I have a lot more text to look at, I'll just come down to the bottom of the screen here and find it. There it is. Load of text on the page, as you can see, and it's all in capitals. How many times have you done that? You've typed away, not looked at the screen until you've typed a lot of information, and then realised that you had caps lock on the whole time, and therefore everything is wrong. It's very easy to fix all this. You simply have to select the text you want to change and use the change case tool or button on the ribbon. It's on the home tab here next to these two buttons with the A's on them, which let you change the size of your font. This one lets you change the case of your font. So if I select this paragraph, oops, didn't mean to do that, I got the whole page. Let's go back and do that again. There we go. And I'm going to click on the double A button, and you can see I've got a choice of sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, and so on. And each of them is actually showing you, in effect, a preview. If I go to capitalize each word, click on there, all my words have changed. I'll click away so it shows up more clearly. I've now got all the words set up with a capital letter. Not quite right for this particular paragraph, but if you were working on a heading perhaps, very easy to do, very useful. Let's take it to sentence case and see what happens. Click on the button again, sentence case, there we are, that's now changed round, and it's almost as if I typed it properly. I might need a couple of slight modifications. Perhaps this one here, I think the quote has confused the system somewhat. It is the start of a sentence. Similarly over here, and it's not recognised that as being something that should be a title, so that would need sorting out, but basically it sorted it all out for me. But I've got the whole document to do. Let's try the next paragraph. There we go. Could work with that one quite easily. Sentence case, and so on and so forth. But I've got to go through the whole thing several times, and it might be a several page document, but I don't have to. I've managed to select whole chunks of text, as you've seen, very easily. There's a tool built into Word called the selection bar. It's been there for years and years. It's very useful. It's always on the screen. It's not labelled and it's completely invisible, but it's very, very handy. When you put the mouse over the buttons at the top of the screen, as I'm doing now, you can see you've got this left pointing arrow. Wherever I go, it's pointing to the left. But if I bring it down and put it into the left margin space on the page over here, it now points to the right, because I'm now in the selection bar. This area here down the left hand side of the document is the selection bar, so I can pick up a load of text very quickly. If I do a single click while in that bar, I get the line I'm next to. If I do a double click, I get the whole paragraph. And if I do a triple click, which is what I did earlier by accident, I've got the whole document. If that's several pages long, it will all be selected, and then what I do will affect all of it. So if I go up to the top and say make this all lowercase, that's all now lowercase right through the whole document. I might want to do individual bits and pieces of the document, a few words here and there. For example here, Mr. Wilson. If I highlight those words, didn't want the one next to it, that's a problem, you've probably come across that, but there's a fix for that as well. If I now go up to the top and say capitalize each word, it's fixed it. And I can do that with any other words that I want on the page. But actually I've got several things there. I don't want to do them one at a time. Can I do them all at once? Of course I can. If I select something and let go with the mouse and then hold the control key down on the left corner of the keyboard, and I click and drag over other items I want, let go but keep the control key held down. Similarly, I'm going to pick this one up, all three words there. That's somebody's name, so I'll go with that. That is a title of somewhere. There we go, there's names, that's a month. Okay, it's picked up of, but I'll worry about that later, I'll come back. But that's the minimum amount of fixing. I pick all of those while holding the control down the whole time. Don't forget, when I let go of that and now go up to the tool, I can make them all capitalize each word, and it's now sorted out, except for the odd thing up here that said of. That's easy. There we are, I've got it picked up, and I didn't drag with the mouse. As you've seen, it did it just now and I didn't want it to. Sometimes as you drag, if you go a little bit too far, it will jump and pick up the next word. But if you double click a word, you pick up just that word. So I'll make that one lowercase. I might want to make I a capital, so I'm going to double click it. Rather than try and drag across and end up picking up things I didn't want, I can go with a double click and pick up the individual words very quickly, very easily. I've obviously got the similar one down here, and I just work my way through the document, but there's far less work involved in that than I have going through individual bits and pieces and paragraphs. I can pick the whole document or whole paragraphs by using the selection bar on the left hand side. I can see a couple of odd things. Again, the quotes I think have confused it. Not a major problem, easily fixed. Now, I selected a line by clicking, I selected a paragraph by double clicking, and I selected the whole document by triple clicking. When I click away, it's all let go. And I picked up my individual words by dragging or then double clicking on an individual word. And the control key let me pick things up that are in different parts of the document. So I can do this sort of thing, do them all at the same time. Maybe I've got headings at the top of several sections of a document. I can pick all the headings up at the same time and apply the formatting to them exactly the same across all of them, all at the same time. But what if I wanted to pick up something that went over a couple of lines, but maybe not all the way along to the edge? So do this, I can go down and I'm doing this sort of thing. I want to go to the end of this word living here. So I'm doing this sort of thing up and down, easily get it wrong, pick up the wrong bit, have to start again. I don't have to do it that way. If I click at the start of something and let go, and then hold the shift key down, one that gets me my uppercase characters, and while holding that, click at the point that ends the information that I want to pick up. I've just clicked there. I've now got everything between the two clicks. If I go with the name of this, if I click here, shift click here, I've got just that piece of the page selected. So I can pick up individual bits of information, whole chunks of information, and then use those change case tools to improve the layout of the document very quickly and very easily. That's the end of that session. Thank you for listening.